When it comes to collegiate hockey programs in New England, few teams have enjoyed the unparalleled success of Boston University.
Lined up shot, deflected, score! Hard shot goes in, and Boston University is your Division I champion, 4-3.
The Terriers played their first hockey game in 1918 and captured the school's first championship in 1971 before successfully defending that title 1 year later to become the first Eastern school to win back-to-back championships in the sport. The program ranks third all-time among Division I schools in wins, including 5 national championships and a combined 38 conference, regular season, and tournament titles during its 100-season history.
Rebound free in the slot. Telford, turnaround.
Here's McEachran cutting in, Sean McEachran scores! Behind the net, now Drury with it, and he will try for the empty net, and he scores! Back to Pody, closing in front, tip, scores!
Lawrence gets it through.
Higgins centering pass, score! Boston University wins the Hockey East Championship in overtime!
Rodriguez to Grizzlick, score!
Matt Grizzlick!
With 31, yes, 31 Beanpot titles, 85 All-Americans, 3 Hobey Baker winners, and a small army of BU players currently playing in the NHL, the Terriers have one of the most successful programs in NCAA history. From the Boston Arena to the confines of historic Walter Brown Arena to the spacious state-of-the-art Agganis Arena, the Terriers hockey program has grown to national prominence. The success of the program is due in large part to the two most influential coaches in BU history, Jack Kelly and Jack Parker. Parker took over the team in 1973 and continued the success that Kelly had started.
We had won the ECAC championship 4 years in a row. The ironic part about it, my first 4 years coaching, 2 of the big stars of the team were Rick Mahar and Micah Rizzioni, and they wound up the 2 leading scorers in BU history, and they graduated, and then we won the national championship.
Being a Terrier, playing for BU. I think Jack, he played here, it meant a lot to be a Terrier to him. And the type of players he recruited were guys who really had great pride in being a Terrier, knew the history of the program and the tradition of the program. And to come here and be a part of that was pretty exciting for me.
The 78 team was a team I was obviously real fond of because they were my first national championship. We had a fairly young team that year, but we had great leadership. Brian DeRocher and Jack O'Callahan were the co-captains. Jack O'Callahan was one of the most competitive people I've ever had, if not the most competitive player I've ever had. Brian DeRocher was a terrific goalie, and we had Jimmy Craig there as well, so we had 2 great goaltenders. It was a team that was easy to be fond of because of how hard they played and how much they got along with each other. Mark Fiddler was one of the stars of the team. He was a 30-goal scorer. David Silk was the star of that team. He was a sophomore that year. So we had a whole bunch of really great players.
Jack was a great competitor. He prepared us to win all the time. And, we had a very good team, a lot of fun.
3 of these players, O'Callahan, Craig, and Silk, along with Eruzione, were named to the 1980 U.S. Olympic team, a team that changed the face of college hockey forever.
College hockey players didn't get the chance to play in the NHL until 1980, and then all those college players won the Olympics. So the guys like O'Callahan and Silk and Craig got a chance to play in the NHL because of that.
When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the Terriers who are wearing the hometown black and gold.
Charlie Coyle gives the Bruins their first 2-goal comeback victory of the season. Right out this way, centered it, bounces out, Fairby shot, he scores! Here's a chance, Keller is in, he scores!
Here's Greenway for the Wild, walking in, shooting, he scored!
There are currently 18 players in the NHL who once called BU home. A few of them have moved from Agganis Arena to the TD Garden and are suiting up for the Boston Bruins.
Marchand chips it back to Coyle. Charlie Coyle gives the Bruins their first 2-goal comeback victory of the season.
Coach Parker, he was great, and to learn from a guy with that much experience was awesome. And also Mike Boyle, their strength and conditioning coach, he helped a lot in getting us ready and prepared, and just a great place to play hockey and go to school and just be a part of this community.
Smith, open man, Grizzly pounds it and scores! 3-2, Boston!
I was very thankful to be surrounded by great teammates and great coaches who put me in that position, and I remember being part of such a great class, just because I had a letter in my jersey. I think it didn't change the way we acted, and we kind of led together, and that's something I'll always remember.
DeBrusque chips it for Krejci to McAvoy. He scores! Charlie McAvoy wins it!
The team, the program is really run, in a professional way. With everything from the facilities to just the way you're treated as an athlete there, even your resources as a student, everything is really first class. So you're able to just learn and really thrive in an environment that, allows you to have success and, in our sport to get ready for the next level.
Bruins assistant coach Joe Sacco is just one of several former Terriers working in NHL front offices or behind the bench.
The Pittsburgh Penguins have won the Stanley Cup.
It was always instilled in us when we were there that you're playing for something bigger than yourself, and there are players that have come before you that represented excellence, and it was your responsibility to carry on a certain tradition, and now we're part of that tradition in a different way, and we all love coming back. We all love seeing one another. It's tough. Life takes us in a million directions, and so the common bond is BU hockey.
I was in the School of Education, so I knew that was the path I wanted to go down. But then my experiences at Boston University, being around Coach Parker, kind of really steered me more in the direction of coaching versus teaching.
It's truly a family. It's something that changes all our lives. We've been very fortunate to play some great coaches here. Jack Parker meant so much to me and everybody else that he touched for the 40 years he coached here. Jack Kelly, all the way back, and it makes it such a special place.
Former BU and NHL head coach David Quinn is the head coach of the 2022 U.S. Olympic hockey team. Coaching in the college hockey ranks has also been a career choice for BU hockey alumni, including 2 former teammates heading up the Terrier program today.
Guys, we're off tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you get some rest. Make sure you're going to class.
You put on the jersey, if you're the first line center or if you're the guy that's in and out of the lineup, everyone's a Terrier. Everyone kind of pulls for each other, whether it be on the team, after you play there, and in life. So it's a really good bond, and everyone tries to take care of each other.
The type of people they bring in, the relationships you make when you're at BU, and then it follows through for the rest of your life. The guys you play with, whether you're there 1 year or 4 years, you build great relationships that you have forever, and it's very special, and you have a lot of success there too, so that always makes it more fun.
When we come back, we'll look at some of college hockey's best that played for the Terriers. Stay with us.
Geico wins it in overtime.
With the 14th pick, the Boston Bruins select Boston University Terrier Charlie McAvoy.
Boston University has had 15 first-round picks chosen in the NHL entry draft, with goalie Rick DiPietro the first overall choice in 2000. There are 9 Terriers in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame, and in the 41 times the Hobey Baker Award has been given to college hockey's top player, BU has 3 recipients.
Red shot, save, rebound, score! Drury wins it for BU!
Chris Drury was the first Terrier to win the prestigious award in 1998. After a 13-year NHL playing career, Drury is now president and general manager of the New York Rangers.
Straight away, they score! Blast off the stick of Matt Gilroy, and the captain has given the Terriers a 2-goal lead.
Defenseman Matt Gilroy was BU's second Hobey Baker winner in 2009. That was also the year the Terriers won their 5th national title.
Unbelievable! Boston University has scored 2 goals in the last minute and has tied this game at
BU almost had a sixth national championship in 2015, the year Jack Eichel did it all for the Terriers.
Jack Eichel wins it in overtime.
Jack Eichel only played one season for the BU Terriers, but what a season it was.
Here's Eichel, burst of speed, Eichel scores!
In 2014-15, Jack led the country in scoring with 26 goals and 45 assists for 71 points. He was the Hockey East Player of the Year and won college hockey's top award.
The winner of the 2015 Hobey Baker Memorial Award is Jack Eichel, Boston University.
It was the best year I've ever had in terms of hockey and, fun and everything. From day one, everyone was welcomed in, and we were really a family. And I think the thing that made us successful was, how much we were willing to compete for the guy next to you, and we didn't want to let each other down. And I've never been closer with a group of guys, and it was a great season.
Jack was selected number 2 overall by the Buffalo Sabres in the 2015 NHL Draft, and immediately became one of the top forwards in the league. In 2018, he was named team captain.
Here's Eichel again, scores! It's a Jack trick!
In November 2021, Jack was traded to the Vegas Golden Knights, but he will always be a Terrier at heart.
For me, it was just so important to be a part of a community like BU. You're a part of something more than just a hockey team.
One player who never won a championship or never scored a goal, but personified the never-quit Terrier spirit, was Travis Roy. Paralyzed in a tragic accident just 11 seconds into his first shift as a Terrier in 1995, he went on to become an inspiration to millions.
Without question, the worst thing that ever happened to me in my BU hockey coaching career was the accident to Travis Roy on the ice in his first shift. And the best thing that ever happened to me in my 40 years of coaching BU hockey was the hockey world's reaction to Travis Roy's injury, the university's reaction to Travis Roy's injury, the people on the street in the city of Boston's reaction to Travis Roy's injury was so uplifting.
After his initial rehab, Travis returned to school and graduated from BU in 2000. He went on to become a highly successful motivational speaker and established the Travis Roy Foundation, which has raised and donated millions of dollars to help people with spinal cord injuries. He passed away in October 2020 at the age of 45.
One of the tributes referred to him as a gift, and I think that that's the best way to put it. I know that every time you were with Travis, you took something from your experience of being with Travis. He was an incredibly smart, funny individual. He was not shy about giving opinions about BU hockey, which I loved, and I know he really appreciated being involved with Boston University. It meant a lot to him.
He was a fabulous example of courage, of patience, of you want to have a good life, have a good attitude. And more than anything else, his ability to overcome and do something for somebody else is something that jumped out at you. Anybody who knew him jumped out at you.
The word legacy is defined by practices that are handed down from the past by tradition. As far as BU hockey is concerned, it also means a chip off the old block. There have been a few players who have followed in their dad's footprints and went on to become Terriers. Tommy Ryan played defense for the 1986 Hockey East champion Terriers, and his son TJ suited up for 2 seasons starting in 2013. Chad Chris played 3 seasons for the Terriers before turning pro following his father Mark, who played 4 seasons at BU ending in 1991. Although he only played 1 season as a Terrier, there were few better than Keith Tkachuk. His son Brady also made a single-season pit stop on Com Ave before going pro. And although it's unique to find one son following in your footsteps, the current Terrier team has 2 from the same family.
Demonstrated by McGecker. Shot for the point by Chris. Blocked by LeGrand. Free puck. Goal! Hat trick. Tony Amonte.
Watching my dad play here, all the highlights of him in the bean pot and just all the history. You always want to watch BU play and you always want to watch BU win. Like, see my cousin Charlie Coyle play here too. It just felt like the right fit for me at the time, and I'm really happy I made the right decision.
I definitely want to play in the bean pot. being a kid from Boston. I think most guys do. And then obviously Ty being here is definitely something that intrigued me a bit. I always thought that it would be pretty cool to get to play with my brother after high school. Also, just the legacy of my dad playing here, I thought that was pretty cool, and always something that I thought if I got the chance to go to BU, I'd definitely jump on it.
The Amonte family tradition of playing together actually started prior to BU. Dad Tony played at Thayer Academy in Braintree, Mass., then became the hockey coach after he retired from the NHL. Naturally, Ty and Tristan went to school there and played for their father, winning a memorable championship in 2016.
I enjoyed it. I mean, like any other coach, he's going to bark at you and whatever, but I kind of like it. It gets me going a little bit, especially the fact that, I mean, played 17 years in the NHL, you're going to have a lot of hockey knowledge, and he sees a lot of stuff that I don't see, other coaches, other players don't see. So I really just, even to this day, like to get his opinion on the games and try to see what he's seen out there and just use that to my advantage.
David Quinn was probably the third coach I'd ever played for, so it was pretty, it felt weird not playing for him when I came to BU and not playing for him when I was in Penticton. It just got so normal to that point, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, especially my senior year in high school, like we were both in the team, so that was the first time we had ever really won anything at Thayer, and that was just a really great way to cap off like our experience at Thayer, is just going out on top.
Along with playing hockey at Thayer Academy and Boston University, there's also another Amonte family tradition, wearing the number 3.
I did my 4 years with number 3, so I thought it would be good to pass the torch to Tristan. And, you know, I think it's really cool that my dad, me, and him have all had the opportunity to wear the same number at BU. I think that's something that's pretty cool and pretty special. And just my dad unretired number 3 at Thayer for Tristan, so figured it was only right to give it back to him.
I mean, I definitely think it's pretty cool, but I think he's playing it off like he's a bit nicer than he is. I think he was feeling a little bit of bad juju with the shoulder injury, so he mixed it up and went with 33. But yeah, definitely something that's pretty cool. Obviously, getting to wear the same number that my brother and my dad both wore here is something that's definitely special to me and something that I take a lot of pride in.
100 years of BU hockey, a tradition of winning, a tradition of players giving back to the game, and a tradition of excellence.
Ahead for Bates. Bates trying to get around Campbell. Shoots, scores! Shot, Bates.
First and foremost, you come to BU. Jack Parker makes it well known. You know, we have great camaraderie as a team. We're always together, eating meals, doing team events, team functions, all that stuff, and it creates an atmosphere where you want to be around those guys and you want to play hard for those guys, and that's what he instills in you.
Get it by Greer, and here's Mike Greer, his second breakaway of the night on Allison. Score!
I just always was attracted to the school. You know, I always loved the atmosphere of the college games, the band, the crowd, the school spirit, and my dad always used to try and take us to the Beanpot. Watching, you know, Monty and Kachuk and McEachran, those guys, I just loved the way they play and the energy they had, and Coach Parker always just seemed to bring out the best in those guys, and they always seemed to be winning the Beanpot.
Criswick to Rodriguez. Rodriguez pulls it back and he scores!
I think we have a lot of former players who want to give back and, you know, want to see the next generation succeed. You know, I think there's an NHL culture about BU. They play a fast-paced style of play and, you know, just a high talent level that comes through the program. And it seems like it continues to do that year after year.
When you take the combination of Jack Kelly and myself, we were coaching BU hockey for 50 years. In reality, they all kind of played for Jack Kelly because I was the same type of coach as Jack Kelly. But when you're at a place for 40 years and everybody went through the same situation, we have more of a family feeling because of the fact that we've had such longevity in the coaching staffs.
Boston University, for the 7th time, has won the Hockey East Championship. The Silver Anniversary Edition goes to the BU Terriers.
In the corner, time runs out. Boston University's done it again. They've won the Beanpot for the 25th time.
For the 29th time, the Terriers are top dogs on the second Monday of February. For the 3rd time in 4 years, Boston University is the Hockey East playoff champion. The Lamorello Cup goes back to Con Ave.
For the first time in Beanpot history, 5 consecutive championships. The Boston University Terriers
behind his own goal. 14 minutes of overtime has been played. Miller all the way up the left side. Shot on net, hit off the post. Rebounded off the post. It's in front. Score! Chris Bohr gets the goal in overtime. And Boston University wins the beat pot.
Given their offensive struggles in round one and then during the week.
Score off the draw! They win the draw and bury it. First goal of the year for Brian McGurk, and his name will go into Beanpot lore. And it's over. The Terriers are top dogs